Hey, good morning, welcome back to the channel. If you've been following along, we're back out here on the massive ultra-modern custom home we're building in the Temecula wine country. Now, I do have a video that should post before this one, but unfortunately last night I plugged it in the SD card to do my video editing, and poof, it did a David Copperfield and said corrupt files, format card, all that stuff. So I'm trying to recover all those files, so hopefully I can get that video posted first. Just in case I can't, what we did the other day was we had 150 yards of concrete here pouring all these footings. You know, I went over the hardware and the footings and all that, but we had concrete here to pour these footings. And I did mention in that video, we did have a week and a half delay here because we have a bridge right down here on the driveway. There's a bridge right down there, and my concrete company came out and said, hey, we don't want to cross that bridge. So there's no engineering specs on that bridge, but it is a rail car. And hopefully this is all covered in the last video. Hopefully I can recover those files and post that video first. But if I can't, that's what happened. We had to get an engineer out here and do engineering on this bridge. You know, that thing's rated, like I said, it is a rail car. Those things are rated to hold well over 305,000 pounds. Concrete truck weighs about 65,000 full. But then I did have the big boom truck out here. You know, that also weighs about as much as a concrete truck. But today what's happening is we've got the footings poured. You know, we did this in 2 pours because this house is 185 feet long. It's just too much work to try to pour the footings and everything all together, so we normally do it in 2 pours. The guys are here now putting down, they backfilled all the plumbing trenches. You're familiar with the plumbing trenches. If you've been watching my channel, Matt was out here doing all his plumbing. They backfilled all the plumbing trenches, and then they compacted it with jumping jacks, big old compacting hand machines that they use. They compacted all the plumbing trenches, and now they're out here putting down all their sand and their 15 mil visqueen. So we have 2 inches of sand, then we have our visqueen moisture barrier, and then we have another 2 inches of sand, and then they're running a compactor over that. So first thing they did was compact all the footings, and I did have some electrical conduit that had to go in some of those trenches that were in there. That was just electrical for the island, and then we have a swimming pool we're going to be building on this end of the house over here. So what I did was, instead of running extra lines out of where the panel's going to go and going all the way around the house because of the price of copper and everything, I just cut those lines through the foundation, and we'll bury those under concrete and stub them out the end over here. So just going to save the owner some money in the future. It's going to save us some hassle when we build this swimming pool. But we're going to go down right now and find out what's happening. Like I said, we are getting this thing graded out with all of our sand and our moisture barrier. Then we're going to start hanging all of our steel. There's a lot of steel going in this thing, but let's go down right now and check out what's happening here. But before we do that, if you guys wouldn't mind going down and give me a thumbs up on my video, just trying to grow my channel, and it helps us to helps YouTube to recommend our video to other people. So without further ado, let's go down and see what's happening. Okay, you can see down here where they have this all graded out really nice. You can see right here, here's our moisture barrier, right? 15 mil visqueen. So they put 2 inches of sand, put the 15 mil visqueen, put 2 more inches of sand, and then they grade it all out. You can see that they're doing that over there right now. But like I said before that, before we did all that, we backfilled all Matt's plumbing trenches and backfilled it all and then compacted it with a jumping jack. And now that's done. That way we're not going to end up with any settling problems or anything like that, or cracks in the foundation. And now the guys are just grading out the sand over the plastic. So let's go around and check out what's happening. You know, but this is how you do a foundation. If you've been following along on the scheduling so far, you know, we graded the lot, then we staked the corners, then we ran all of our strings, right? We staked the corner, ran a square box around here, a rectangular box, put up all of our strings to get our dimensions. Okay, once we had it all chalked out, once we chalked it all out and we had our dimensions, then we came in and we dug all the footings, right? Then Matt came in and put in all his plumbing. Okay, then the guys came in, hung all the forms, did all the steel and hardware and hold downs that you see here. They ran this rebar right here down into the footings, and they'll bend these over and they'll tie these into the steel that's going to be out here in the foundation. Okay, so we poured all the footings, made sure all of our hold downs and everything in place, right? I ran all the electrical conduit for the islands and everything that's going in here. I'll show you that over there in just a moment. And now Tom's here. All these guys work for Clinton Haley, who owns Precision Setup Concrete. He does all of our concrete work because he's the best in the business, and that's why we use him. We don't like problems. So Tom's gonna dump sand for him. You see this big pile of sand over here, right? Just masonry sand, nice clean sand. But they're putting the visqueen down, putting down 2 inches of sand, and then they're gonna run a compactor over it. You see they ran strings again, okay? Because this is gonna be a 5-inch slab in here, 5 inches thick. So Jose's here. You're familiar with Jose if you watch some of my projects. They run strings, and they set all these strings from form to form, because we know the forms are at the proper height. He's gonna set these strings, and then they're gonna measure down off the string and make sure we've got 5 inches underneath there. And now we'll end up with a 5-inch slab. So you see that? They protected all the plumbing, right? These guys are shoveling the sand out. You see here, more visqueen plastic right here. This is the way you do it. It's all graded out. And then they'll keep our footings nice and clean. Over here, you'll notice they're not getting sand and everything all over the footings, because we want our slab, when we pour our foundation, we want it to tie into these footings. So we'll get all this sand off of here. But looking good. You know, this thing's quite large, so this is going to take a while. And they're just going room by room, you know. Tom, they pushed over some of this rebar sticking out of these footings. They just push it over so he can drive this little bobcat through. Go over here and check out what we did over here. See here, like these footings, we won't let dirt get on these footings because we want the slab to tie into this. Okay. I'll show you over here what I did with the all the conduit coming out of the panel. I told you before, you want to plan ahead for the future. And then hopefully that previous video isn't deleted because of corrupted files. But if I can't recover that, I pointed out before, we have a 400 amp square D panel going in here. I always make templates. I have templates. I have all the sizes of every panel in my computer at home because I've been doing this forever. So what I did was, I always fill every hole in the panel. We like to use extras in case we want extras in the future, in case you want some lights out here on the property. We do not want anybody coming here and drilling holes and hanging pipes outside of our stucco. We have a gate that's going down on the driveway. We have a swimming pool that's going over there. He's probably going to want some perimeter lights around the property, you know, that aren't just low voltage. So I make these templates. We set all this exactly where it needs to go. That way we just set the panel in here and we run these pipes and they'll go right up into the bottom of it, because that template is exactly where the hole spacing is on the panel. So this right here, same thing. These two are for sprinkler timers. This is a garage that's going to be over here. I ran 2 of those because this is a large property, probably going to be a lot of valves. I stubbed them out right here. Those will go underground, and then wiring will come out of that and go to our timers. This right here, this 1-inch conduit, is going to feed our swimming pool that's down there. You can see it right here on the ground. We're going to cover it up with sand. It goes down through the foundation and it stubs out over there. I know exactly where it's at, so when we build that swimming pool, all I got to do is dig down over there, run conduit from that line out to the swimming pool electrical panel, instead of having to go all the way out here around the house and then all the way down. You know, I'm just going to alleviate all these 90s that would go around here and a 90 over there and then go down to where the swimming pool's at. I alleviated all that in the future by running these extra lines. So here's a 1-inch to feed the panel for the swimming pool. Here's a 3/4 for extra. It also stubs out over there. That way if he wants electrical and he wants lights out there, we can put them out there. This is for a future gate down on the driveway. Okay, this is our main service right here, and this is an extra. Those stub out right here below me into the utility trench, which is going to run down past that truck and go down the hill and connect to Edison down the road. So that's planning ahead for the future. Okay, you always want to think of these things. You don't just want to stub electrical conduit up. You want to know where the holes are on the panel, because if those things aren't lined up, it is a pain for the electrician to come out here and set this panel. They have to heat those up with torches and bend them and curve them, and we don't do that at all, ever. Okay, all these little steps will save you a lot of time. It's very professional, very clean. I leveled those when I put them in, when I put these templates on there, and so this thing is ready to go. You can see right here, I staked them right off of the forms, so ready to go. These are things, if you're going to get into contracting, or if you've already been working for a construction company and you're thinking about becoming a contractor, right here. These are plans and ideas I came up with on my own a long time ago. Like I said, I started in this trade back in 1976. Absolutely love what I do, but I'm always trying to find new innovative ways to make the job easier, you know, and still maintain quality control. So that's what's happening out here today. We're going to finish up getting all this graded. Here's another grade beam right here. We have a big I-beam, steel I-beam that's going here, so that's our template for that. But yeah, this is looking good. Here's a compactor they use to compact the sand. Once they grade it all out and compact the sand, they'll compact it down to 5 inches using this compacting machine. So this is what's happening out here today. You know, we will be ready to set steel on this thing. Today's Thursday. We'll be hanging steel out here in the foundation tomorrow, which is Friday. We'll bend all this rebar over and tie it into our steel that's going out here for the slab. Anyway, that's what's happening out here today. You know, there's a lot of steps in this process. And like I said, scheduling is everything. And I've been going over your first step and your second step and your third step. So if you're going to get into building, or even if you want to do some DIY on your own projects, this is the way to do it. So hopefully you guys are having an awesome day. Continue to follow us on this project. Continue to follow us on Dustin Williams' project. And I'm going to start filming more of our projects. We have a lot of huge stuff going on, a lot of huge stuff coming up. So don't forget to go down and give us a thumbs up on our video, unless you didn't like the video, but give us a thumbs up on our video. Help us grow our channel. You guys have an outstanding day, and hopefully you can learn something by watching our projects that'll help you with your project.